I love our people, right? I love our people and I celebrate them any chance I can get. Now, with that being said, we are so quickly to jump ship and go over to other places. Now, there are two things I want to talk about today. One about the billionaire post, quote unquote post, that has an unverifiable source from what I can tell, that was talking about black women and what type of men that like them. On the other side, the whole entire Japan aspect, again, another unverifiable source from what I can see. It just seems like it's a wildfire story that's running all over the place. And then at the end, I'm just going to go ahead and say that it really does seem like it's just a situation to where they're just trying to divide our people. So let's start with the whole entire the billionaire story. Now, Ben Horowitz is a billionaire who made a majority of his fortune by selling his software company to HP, Hewlett Packard. And there's nothing wrong with that. And he met his wife in 1988. They've been married for over 30 years. She is so happened to be black. And he met her before he was even rich or even a billionaire. And they grew together. Now, when the story or the clip came out where the billionaire said, you know, black women are for grown-ups, and how he prefers black women, all this other kind of stuff, the first thing that happened, a lot of black women just ran with the story and they said, hey, this is what white men forget black men all over. Let's go through TikTok. And fast forward, not even a couple days later, because I was looking at this doesn't seem right. I'm not saying that a billionaire couldn't want a black woman. There are black billionaire couples all over the place. We just don't hear about them or know about them because a lot of them are in the United States. But it just seems very weird, because why would you separate a group of people like that? So I was researching the story and I saw that I went to Ben's Twitter and he even posted saying that he never said that, and he wouldn't do that to a particular group, talk about a particular group of people like that, separating them out, which was a very respectable thing to say. So now you have a lot of black men who are hurt by what the black women were saying, pretty much downplaying black men, saying how we don't appreciate them, we only see them as for some cutty, you know, old school term, right? For some cutty, and that's it. But let's take a look at Ben's wife, right? Now, she's a beautiful woman, a light-skinned woman, appears to be a very pro-black woman. And a lot of people will say that if you're dating outside your race, you cannot be pro-black. However, there's always the exception of it's black women dating a white man. Okay, fine. I personally do think you can love yourself and your race and find love with another person. It's about the connection you have with that individual person, as long as you're not sitting here downing your own race and people. Fine. It's one thing to date outside your race and you talk crap about black men and how they're X, Y, and Z. And it's another thing, you so happen to find love with somebody who's outside your race because you had a connection, but you still love your people and have respect for yourself and them. Now, I hate to say this, I'm going to get into how Felicia looks a little bit. I won't even say necessarily hate to do this, it's just a lot of women that are celebrating that incorrect, inaccurate post that Ben said, you know, black women are for grown-ups. Look at his wife. His wife, from what we could tell from the pictures I've seen, doesn't have all kinds of piercings, tattoos. She has a natural hair, and she's light-skinned. Now, if you could take out the light-skinned part if you want to, but the other three you can control: tattoos, piercings, and natural hair. He's not saying that what he's with is what he's attracted to, and that's what the very classic look of most black women: natural hair. Natural look. You know, natural hair, subtle makeup, no piercing and crazy tattoos, and a very classy woman. Now, the lot of women that were celebrating this, they didn't have that. You saw women with piercings, tattoos, weaves, all kinds of stuff, trying to say that they would be a billionaire's type. Maybe they would do Eve, because you know how Eve back in the day was very hoodish until she got with her white man, and then she started showing more of her natural looks, which she became a lot more attractive after that. But for some reason, when she was in the black community, she wanted to stay and look hood. And the funny part about that is, Whenever you have black men that date outside their race, they normally, one of the main things they like saying is, that I've heard them say, that I've even said, that we like the natural look. For me, personally, have I dated outside of my race? Yes. Did I end up marrying a black woman? Absolutely. But the black woman I end up marrying, again, no piercing, no crazy tattoos, and had her natural hair. I appreciated her natural beauty, that what she had. And let's say she didn't have long natural hair, she would have been bald. I would have appreciated and loved that, because I like the realness of it. I don't like old weaves. I don't like crazy eyelashes. I don't like a lot of piercings. And a lot of people who make decent to good money, they don't want that hood aspect into their lives every single day. Yes, it's good for a very short and fun time, but not for a very long-term situation. Now, there's that part of it right there. So if you want to celebrate Ben and his wife, great. But it does seem like a lot that it was just two people who met and fell in love. And in fact, if you even look at Ben's Instagram, he hangs around a lot of black people, like a lot. And you saw when Chance the Rapper, NWA, he was at a Hayden statue. He has submerged himself around black people. So it's not like one of those things, he's a rich white man that only hangs around upper echelon white people, to quote Cardi B. But it's just a man who loves his pro-black wife and support her and submerge himself within her culture, but she's a classy enough woman to make sure she don't embarrass him with the way she looks her ass. And they've been together for over 30 years strong. So take that as a lesson, black women. If you want a white billionaire, or just a man who has more money and means, it's all about how you carry yourself. Because let's be real here, you don't see Sexy Red marrying a billionaire. You don't see Nicki Minaj marrying a billionaire. You don't see Cardi B marrying a billionaire. However, you saw Eve marrying up. She classed herself up. You saw Sierra marrying up. She classed herself up, but then she's ruining her marriage now because she's reverting back to her old original ways. So we'll see how that works out. And then the next part I want to go into, the black man divide, because let's be real here. Typically speaking, when it comes to black males, they tend to like anime and Asian women, right? And that's how the whole entire passport bro movement got most of its attention. Not necessarily when women in Japan, because a lot of Japanese women in that area don't necessarily gravitate towards black men like that. I'm not necessarily saying it's a racist country. There is not open compared to places like Thailand or the Philippines when it comes to dating interracially. With that being said though, them saying that, hey, we want black men to come breed because we're having trouble getting our women pregnant and then producing, that sounds very weird to me. And maybe I'm just a very paranoid person. So you mean a country that doesn't necessarily mess with black people, especially black men in general, want black men to come over to impregnate their women all of a sudden? And the last time I chatted, they didn't think very highly of us. Now, Japan's the one country I haven't been to yet because it's on my bucket list. I've been to a few places. But when it comes to Japan, and for the research I've done for the trip I'm trying to plan within the next year or so, I know to, stay in the tourist areas and put it that way. But I will say this, and again, another unverifiable source, because I looked high and low to see where this news article or where this prime minister or whoever said this, right? And the only place I have seen where this came out is Tasha K. And what is Tasha K is just trolling all of it to see what will black men do. They're starting a little rumor to see how it will go, if it will spread like wildfire. That's what I really think it really is. But again, let's say if it is true and they really do want black men, they want our city to help produce their women. Do you think our kids, and let's say if we went over there and started impregnating Japanese women, from what I can tell, if you go over there, you don't get any benefits, you don't get any money. It's just you and your seed. And what will happen to those children? Would it be automatically in lower social class? Because they'll have darker skin, darker features. I still remember I saw an interview of a mixed girl who was black and Japanese, and how she didn't necessarily even like her black side, and she thought Americans were so mean and she'll much rather just be in Japan and stay around Japanese people, even though they kind of alienated her too.